Okay, now here we go. Terms, because if you start looking for real estate and your French is, well, even if your French is good, I learned a lot of terms when I had lived almost 10 years in France. When we bought, I learned a lot of terms that I had no idea what they meant. And I'll be honest with you, I ran into these people were very nice and explained them to me, or I asked my wife, or I looked into a dictionary. The most basic one is immobilier, which means real estate, essentially. Immobilier, it means it doesn't move. It means essentially what it is. You're buying something that doesn't move, which is real estate. You have the immobilier, immobile. It's immobile, so it doesn't move. A house doesn't move in theory.
Oh, they're so practical.
They're so practical, yes. But if you want to know a little bit of trivia, that in Alsace the houses can be the way that you look at an Alsace. They have the side of the house as you see them. They're actually made out of like wood, which is a little bit different in France. It's not a lot of houses made out of wood, and they're mobilier. They're not immobilier, they're mobilier. And actually, the houses would move. It would, when a woman or a daughter got married, she would take the house with her. It was very interesting. So they're in Alsace, the houses are classified mobilier. Some are. You see the woods, and you can see how they can move it. Okay, moving on. We have this T1 and F1. Now F1 is not for Formula One. These are the size of a house. The T is an apartment, and the F is for a home. And it means one room, one bedroom, which would be one bedroom plus a living room, plus a kitchen, plus a water closet, and plus a shower, or a room where you would bathe, which could be a shower or a bathtub. Because remember, in France, oftentimes the toilet and the shower or the bathtub are in different rooms. Which is the visa.
Basically, right, but basically, like a T1, that would be, I think, considered a studio, Jeff, because it's the number. They include the living room, dining room, plus the bedrooms. Now, in the numbers there, the kitchen and the bathroom are not in those
not
numbers.
Not included, right? Yeah.
Automatically come with it automatically comes with a kitchen and a bathroom. So if it's a T3, that means there's 2 bedrooms and a living room.
Right, and I think that I've seen ads, and I've visited some where it's marked as studio. They do say studio, so I'm not sure what the exact difference between a T1 and studio is. So it's a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not sure. They'd have to. They would have to check with a realtor about that. Yeah.
But sometimes that's a little bit funky. That in one area it might be a T1, the other area it might be a studio. It could be a little bit different.
Yeah. Could be. Yeah.
Cuisine Americaine. This was something I found very funny in the beginning, because I didn't know that we had American kitchen essentially. I didn't what's an American kitchen? That was like, hey, well, and it's basically an open plan kitchen. It's an open room. It's not, the kitchen isn't closed off. And in fact, we're going to see a photo of one of the properties for sale. We're going to see a photo of a Cuisine Americaine. But I just thought it was funny. I wonder if that's what they think, that American kitchens are all like that. I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of it's an interesting thing. Copropriété. A copropriété is a condo association. Basically, it's what I live in. We live in an apartment. There are 24 units. There's an association. It's called a copropriété. There's an agreement. We knew when we were buying that it was going to be a copropriété, because it's an apartment. There would be a condo association. The condo association is called the syndicate. Basically, it's a company who administers it and takes care of if there's problems or something, like we have some problems with the mailbox got broken. They deal with that. There's a yearly meeting. There are bylaws. I don't know if there has to be, but generally speaking, there's a president and there's a board, etc., and they meet every couple months. You have to pay you pay your charge, what's called charges, which is basically your condo fees. They're pretty good. There's some people basically there are some apartment units that there's no syndic. It's somebody who locally does it, but that's kind of difficult. I heard about one with the retired people, and it is kind of, there's a lot of legality. That was one thing I learned about moving in here. There was legality, and sometimes it wasn't clear for parking spaces exactly. Are parking spaces numbered or not, stuff like that. So there's a lot of real estate. Jeanette, did you ever work for a real estate company that was a syndic also?
You know, I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't, and I wouldn't even want to get into that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because, but I'm sure you probably had those. You could, probably be confronted with those same problems in the United States. But I found the French kind of every time I did have some property for sale in a copropriété, I had a hard time selling them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Well, because of that, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Well, you're living in a community type of thing, so yeah, you can have arguments about this and that. Yeah, it's the same way. No, people don't agree.
It's a personal choice.
It's a personal choice, yeah.
So, yeah.
So what's a mitoyen?
Well, a mitoyen is when you have joining wall, and that both parties are responsible for maintaining that joining wall. And they do have the same situations in the States. But here it is really singled out when you sign with a notary, the mitoyen and the droit de passage.
Yes.
Droit de passage would be somebody has the right to walk through or to use a passageway on your land, or I'm not saying that all properties have the droit de passage. I'm just saying that when it is mitoyen, when there's anything
Jeanette, are you there? We seem to be having technical difficulties. You'll have to excuse us. But when I was buying a property, yeah? Are you there, Jan?
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Yeah, there was I don't know what happened, but there was some sort of no, I was just saying that when we bought our property, our apartment, the notaire told us that there was a droit de passage, and he showed us where it was. He showed us and he said it wasn't, because we bought there. I think what happened is the company that developed our plot of land, it was obviously a farmer at one time had it, and there was a droit de passage that was part of when the development company bought the land. There was a droit de passage that was probably written in. It probably was what do you say? It was ongoing. It could never be stopped. So we have it, and no one ever walks on it because it doesn't go anywhere. So it just kind of dead end. So somebody at one time was going to have a tractor on it, but now it doesn't really make any difference. This is something I see in Haute-Savoie, Loire Carré, and essentially what it is that when you have it's a lot of in a chalet. I can actually even draw it. You have a chalet like this. Oftentimes the chalet, you have a room at the very top, and the Loire Carré is the amount, the height of the ceiling, which I believe is 1.5 meters. This part here, if this was 1.5 meters, this part here, between here and here, would count in what you actually legally buy, or for the size, the legal size of the property. And this part in here, because it's too low, would not count legally. It was there, you would buy it, you could do whatever you want with it, but just in the way it's written and way in the contract, you have the square meters, it's all in square meters, of course, metric system. This part only get a count, not this part here. So you have, and I saw that a lot when I was looking at property in Haute-Savoie and La Clusaz and chalets. There was oftentimes, They were a little bit, they was in a ski village, so it was a ski station, so they shoved as much in there as they possibly could. And so you had, and I saw some that were very, very low. You could, all you could do was have a bed. And if you woke up at night, you would hit your head. Plan PA, which is basically, which is what I live in. It's an apartment, the apartment building I live in, and we live on the ground floor, the first floor in America. And basically there are no steps whatsoever. And it's just flat. I walk right in. I don't have to go up any steps. It's right on the ground level. It's on the ground level. I walk right in and bingo.